Hey guys, it's Megan. Welcome again to Allie's Books and Movies. Today I am shooting my October wrap-up / TBR. I didn't do too badly this month, all things considered. I had a very busy month, but I still managed to read 8 books. And I'm less than 100 pages away from finishing my TBR jar pick, Lunch in Paris. I tried, but I just don't think I'm going to make it through to the end. I'm shooting this on the 31st because I'll be too busy next week, but anyway, let's get to it. The first book that I read was The Meanest All in the World by Ann M. Martin. This is the second book in the Doll People series that Ann M. Martin wrote. I really am liking the series. The 4th book just came out a couple weeks ago, and I would like to buy it, but I think I want to buy the other books first, just gradually work my way through to buying them all. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It was really good. I enjoyed it. The next book that I read was Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. I gave that book a 4 out of 5 stars. I'm going to shoot a review for it. Actually, it'll come out sometime in early November. Not too much to say about it, except it wasn't what I expected. Although I'm pretty sure everybody who's read that book can never say that it wasn't what they expected. I have a lot to say about it, so I will discuss it more later on in my review for it. The next book that I read was Little House in the Big Woods by Laura Ingalls Wilder. I have always given this book 5 out of 5 stars because it's been such an important book in my life. I've read it over and over since childhood. I was talking about it in my Fall Time Cozy Time book tag, how much I love this book. It's just, and it's so short. You could just read it in a sitting, really. It's so good and just makes you feel cozy and warm. It's the perfect transition to winter read. I know you can't tell because of my apparel that it's getting close to winter, but it is. It totally is. The next book that I read was Not That Kind of Girl, A Young Woman Tells You What She's Learned by Lena Dunham. This is a collection of memoirist essays broken down into 5 parts. I think she talks of, there's body and sexuality and work and the big picture and something else. But I found this really good. It was such a good read. I marked off spots that I just that were favorite parts of mine that either made me laugh or made me really think about things and that were really deep. And I thought this was amazing. If you don't know, Lena Dunham is this wonderful lady. She is the writer, creator, and star of the hit HBO series Girls. And it's just really good. She's a wonderful lady. I love her stuff. I think she's hilarious. And I think she's just it's wrong to say the voice of our generation because I think what she says can be applied to every generation. She's just that kind of person that she is not afraid to say what we are all actually thinking about things, stuff that we just don't talk about in society. She talks about openly and freely, and I really respect her for that. And I think this is an amazing book that you all should pick up because it was wonderful. And it only took me a couple days to read. I blew right through it, and I learned so much, not just about her, but I learned some things within myself too, stuff that I didn't realize before she helped me to realize. And I don't think that was her intention writing it or anything, but I think the world would be a better place if we read this book. That's what I'm trying to say. The next book that I read, which was amazing, is Weird Things Customers Say in Bookstores by Jen Campbell. I gave this a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. It would take me forever to I just kept writing down numbers in my phone of page numbers of funny anecdotes. I will just flip to a random page and read 3. I will read 3 to you. Okay, 1. Customer, do you have any old Elvis CDs? Bookseller, no, we don't sell music, sorry. We might have a book on Elvis, though. Customer, would any of those come with a life-size cutout of him? Bookseller, I doubt it. Okay, another one. I'm looking for shorter ones because some of them are quite lengthy, and it's awesome. It builds up to a great punchline, but I like the little ones for now. Customer, I'd like a refund on this book, please. Bookseller, what seems to be the problem? Customer, I barely touched it. It's ridiculous. Bookseller, what do you mean? Customer, I mean, all I did was drop it in the bath by accident, and now, I mean, just look at it. The thing's unreadable. Really? I'm sorry. I think that's hilarious. Okay, one more. Customer, hi. If I buy a book, read it, and bring it back, can I exchange it for another book? Bookseller, no, because then we wouldn't make any money. Customer, oh. It's called a library, you know? You can go to a library and do that. But I loved it. There's no words to describe how much I love this book. It's one of the favorite books that I've read all year. And I want to get this, and I really want to get the sequel, More Weird Things, Customer Same Bookstores. I laughed. I got mad. I got really mad. Like, and it's broken down into different, like, chapters, different categories, which is so cool. There's, like, literary pursuits. What was that title again? Parents and kids. You want what? Customers behaving badly. And isn't it obvious? Books for kindling, so they talk about Kindles, which is awesome. The adult section, higher powers, so religion, out-of-print books as well, like antique books. And just so cool. I loved it. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. It's like shot up to my priority, this and the sequel, which I'm dying to read. I don't know. I'll have to like see what happens with finances, but these are definitely high on my priority list of to-gets now. It's so good. The next book that I read, I've been highly anticipating this book for quite a while, actually, and I was like 8th in line for holds of it at the library, and it finally came in, and it is To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I really wanted to read this during the summer because it seemed like a really great summer YA contemporary, but that just wasn't in the cards. But either way, I read it this month. Just a couple days. I blew through it. It was so, so good. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, if I didn't mention that already. It's about a girl, and she's lost her mom. She has 2 sisters, and it's just, that's not really what it's about. What it's about is she, every time she falls in love with a guy, and it's happened about 5 times, in order to get it all out, and so that she doesn't have to think about it anymore, she writes them a letter. She writes it, seals it, addresses it, does not mail it. And so that way she can just move on. And anyway, one day they get sent out, and she doesn't know how, and they're not all of them, but some of them are coming up to her and like confronting her, and so this is the aftermath, and it's pretty cool how it all plays out. I really enjoyed it, and I would like to read more books by Jenny Han. She is fairly popular on BookTube, so I would like to check out some more of her stuff now. The next book that I read was the newest Dear Canada Diary, Flame and Ashes, The Great Fire Diary of Triffy Windsor by... They don't say the first name, they say the last name, so McNaughton is the author's last name. This was really good. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars simply because I felt like there could have been more content. Like, this was pretty thin. In fact, it's $16.99, and it's so thin. It's kind of ridiculous to me. But, yeah, it's about a girl, and it's a great fire that took place in St. John's, Newfoundland in 1892. So it starts shortly before that, and then... obviously it goes through the whole event, and the bulk of the book is the aftermath and how they deal with it. And so it was a fairly serious book, but I found a lot of joy in it, and I really enjoyed it, as I do all my Dear Canada Diaries. I'm going to get those next month, and I'm bringing them home, and I'm going to find a place for them on my shelf. I have over 20 of them, but they're my most treasured series, along with like Harry Potter and Nancy Drew. But I want them to have a home here because I reread them a lot just to like feel smarter, because like I learn more and more about history, Canadian history, as I read them. Anyway, this is turning into a long video, so I will keep moving on. The last one that I read, like finished reading this month, was The Runaway Dolls by N.M. Martin and Laura Goodwin. Illustrations by Brian Selznick. This is the 3rd book in the series. Like I said, I want to pick up the 4th one. Just gonna wait a little bit, make myself wait. But this was great. I blew through it in a couple days. I know it's so middle grade, and I want to read. I want to be adult. I'm 23 now, but I can't help it. I still like find delight in reading middle grade books and being able to recommend them to other people. I still think it's a great thing. But then one of the primary reasons I read this is because I'm an art student, and I loved the illustrations in this book. Like, just for an example, like, you can pick up on the style fairly, like, in the beginning. There. It's pencil. It's got to be pencil. It's got to be, like, graphite pencil. But anyway, I thought it was really good. It was a compelling story. 3 of the dolls run away, and their families are trying to find them. And it's just craziness. But it was good. So those are the books that I read. I don't have my Kindle in this pile, but whatever. Those small amount of books that I read this month. As for my TBR, I'm quite excited. This is the first time that I've ever actually done my, like, selected from my TBR jar exclusively before. Before, I was just, like, going with the flow. If I find something in the library, then great. And then just trying to get through one TBR jar read. But I think I'm going to pick 3. And if one of them's really, really long, then I'll try to read 2. And if they're all relatively short, I'll try to read all 3. I think that's what I'm just going to try to do for now, because I don't have enough time actually these days anymore to get to a library and pick out a bunch of books and then bring them back. And this is a good thing, because then it forces me to start to, like, get a hold of, like, reading all these amazing books in my shelves that I have not read before. I'd love to do a bookshelf tour one of these days. I really, really would. But anyway, besides the point. Okay, so I got my jar here. I will select 3 of them. And we'll see what we've got. Okay. So my first pick is Decline of the English Murder by George Orwell. This is a collection of essays that he wrote regarding the English's fascination with murder. It came out in the 50s. And so that is really exciting. I cannot wait to read it. That's exciting. The second book. Here we go. To Stand on My Own. This is a Dear Canada diary. It is the polio epidemic diary of Noreen Robertson by Haworth-Attard. I can never do their last names. It's unfortunate. But yes. Oh, that is so great. And they're both purple. That's kind of cool. Huh. I'm excited. Yes, so as the title implies, it's about a girl who has polio, and I might have read this once upon a time, like years ago, and I just simply don't remember. And so that's why it's in my TBR jar, because I just don't remember. But anyway, that is great. I'm going to read that this month. Okay, the last one. Let me see. Art of Animation. Ooh. By Bob Thomas, from Mickey Mouse to Beauty and the Beast. That is so cool. I will probably keep this, like, at my house because it's so big and it'd be kind of hard to, well, maybe not. Maybe not. It depends on the day. I might have to alternate between like that and maybe a smaller book like this one. But anyway, that is so cool. This is behind the scenes. Like I said before, I am a huge animation geek, especially Disney. And so to read even more about behind the scenes of the films that I love so much will be great. So that's all for my TBR jar. I think I'm going to select from one of my shelves, like one of my newer books, you know, so that it's like I'm still keeping up with the newer books that I bought. So be right back. Back again, I have decided that I am going to read for this month Illusions of Fate by Kirsten White. I just got this last month for my birthday, and I'm really excited to delve into this and find out what happens. So, yes, I'm excited. That is great. That is my TBR for the month. Hopefully I will read more books than this, obviously, but this is just a starting point, and I think that if I get through, then I'll just like pick whatever book, read what I feel kind of thing. But I like the idea that I'm sort of forcing myself, gently forcing, because not really, because these are books I want to read anyway. So that's great. I'm excited I'm pleased with this pile. So that's all for my wrap up in TBR. Have you read any of the books that I've talked about in this video? If so, I'd love to know. Please comment down below. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. This is Megan signing off. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.